It was a chilly spring day when Allison and Aletha jumped in their canoe and canoed out to the island to do conservation work with their teacher and field boss. However, when they got there, they found out that they'd be up to their eyeballs in mud if they got out. So they stood in their canoe. However, this was much to their teacher's dismay, because it may have not been the safest choice and was setting a bad example for the other students. However, they refused to sit down until their teacher snapped a candid photo of the two of them, balancing in their canoe side by side. This is one of Aletha's favorite memories, and something that captures Allison's spirit perfectly. You are all here today because you knew Allison in some capacity or another. Allison wanted to give you the full picture of her life, and this is what we're going to share with you now. Thank you for joining us and celebrating in her life together, in community, the way she would have wanted. We will remember Allison by the things that she held most dear to her, which was her relationship with the Lord, her love for animals, and her dedication to her family. First, let's talk about her faith, which she held above all else, because she knew that she could do all things through him who gave her strength. Philippians 4:13. Allison had a rock-solid relationship with Jesus and strove to serve him to the best of her ability every day. She did this through working with her church and building relationships, as well as doing whatever mission work she was called to. She joined her church's session, which really allowed her to become involved, give a fresh perspective, and gain lots of spiritual wisdom from the people that were much older than her. She also really enjoyed mission work, whether it was locally or traveling to do so. She believed that when you push yourself out of your comfort zone, that God could really do amazing things. She saw this especially in her trip to Cincinnati, where she was feeling a little lost. But God reassured her that as long as she was seeking him and doing the things that she loved, she could not possibly do him wrong. She also loved serving her community through her church, whether it was fundraising for the church and doing work through them, or it was serving a community meal or donating to the food pantry. She enjoyed helping in whatever way she could. Allison loved God and loved being the hands and feet of Jesus. She may not have been as vocal about her faith, but lived it out for everyone to see. She believed that God gave her the gift to work with animals and had a love for agriculture and a passion for working with animals. She believed it was her calling, which is why she pursued a career as a veterinarian. She worked with all types of animals, whether it was dogs and cats, her herd of Jersey cows, or snakes and turtles. She had the patience to deal with them, whether they were nervous or scared or just plain curious. There are many stories of her at the county fair where she coaxed a pig back to its pen, rounded up a rowdy goat, or helped a child keep a hold of their a little overexcited steer. She also loved teaching people about the dairy industry. Her Jersey cows were her favorite, and she did this through her positions as a farmer, fairest of the fair, and Wisconsin Jersey Princess. There was one time where she didn't have time to change clothes before she had to do her chores. So here she was in her dress, crown, and sash, milking her cows. This caught the eye of a little girl, not only because of the crown, but because she was fascinated by the cows. So she came up and asked if she could help her milk the cows. Allison said, of course, and went through the entire process with her. They were both beaming by the time they were done. Allison was always around animals and loved caring for them and working with them. She also loved seeing how they could influence people's lives with their gentleness. Even though Allison had a love for animals that was strong, stronger was her love for people. She loved being in community and sharing with all types of people. First was her family. She was fiercely committed to them. Whether it was working and serving for them, being their chauffeur, working around the house, or going in for somebody who was sick. She also just loved being around and spending time with her family. Whether it was grocery shopping at Costco, watching her favorite action movie, or just sitting around the dinner table talking. She loved them so, and knew that they were some of her best friends. Speaking of friends, Allison was a friend that anyone would be lucky to have. Her best friend Aletha says, Allison was my best friend in the whole world, and she was always there for me no matter what. She was the person you could call no matter the time or day or what she was doing, and she would be your listening ear. Her former teacher, Amanda Bolin, says that they had many conversations in the car that she will hold dear to her, whether it was singing and laughing or having just really great and deep conversations about life. She was also the friend that was always up for adventure, no matter what. Whether it was backpacking through the Porcupine Mountains with her best friends or purposefully tipping her canoe in the lake just to get back in, that was Allison's adventurous spirit. She also used her humor and charm to put a smile on anybody's face. Allison loved to laugh, and she loved to make other people laugh. She used her combination of humor and compassion to bring people together, not only her friends, but also her classmates and family, to work out conflicts. She enjoyed the company of her family and friends, and enjoyed working hard, laughing, and having fun. Allison was a beloved daughter, sister, friend, and mentor to many, and that's why it's so important that we gather here to celebrate her life. Allison was a woman of God who served through farming and caring for the ones she held dear. Her memory will live on in her friendliness and in our friendliness and kindness towards others. And even though she's no longer here with us on earth, we know that she now lives with Jesus. Because John 3:16 tells us, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, and to whoever believed in him should not perish but have eternal life." We thank God for the gift of Allison's life and the impact it had on all of us. And we thank him also for the gift of Jesus, so that we can be reunited with God and have that eternal life.